So what an incredible view that was of our military client. And I know if you're like me, you must feel really, really proud of what you do, of what our company does, and the opportunity that we have to do something for those that really make the ultimate sacrifice for our country. I saw this cartoon, and before I jump into our PowerPoint, I just thought that this had a kind of a great meaning. I admit that as the relocation director, I sit in a chair and I've got nine, $10,000 referrals that are coming in a year, and it grows more and more every single year. And so you have a certain way that you maybe look at things. And I think maybe as agents who are on the A team and have been on the A team for a while, as you see these different lead sheets come in, maybe we see things differently there as well. For instance, maybe this is how I see the client a little bit too much. This is sort of just how we track all of our conversion and then what's happened with our referrals and how long back and what's the history and what's going on in this quarter and that quarter and the last quarter, and is it green, yellow, or red, and all these different things. And it's important. If we don't do this, we'll never find out where we're missing. We'll never seek to get better. We'll never know what our true opportunities were. So this is actually an important view that we have to have of the customer. And from an agent perspective, this is a view that we often have of the customer, right? This is the incoming referral sheet. And I thought this referral sheet was the first one that I grabbed, honest to God, and it just, I crossed out some names here so we're not sharing people's information. But when you get one of these referral sheets, where are we looking? This is one that doesn't seem to really have a whole lot of information in it. If we look at it, it's a price range of $240. They're looking for a single-family home in the Odenton, Maryland area. And there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of information in this one. There's not a lot of comments to it. There's not a lot of anything. And so if you got this referral, you might be really tempted to start with, okay, $240,000, what's available in Odenton? Let's see how many baths and bedrooms they're looking for, what the expectations are. These would all be fantastic questions and really important in terms of being a professional real estate agent. If you want to help qualify the person and set proper expectations, you really got to start to move through some of that information. But there's one really key piece of information in here that I think might often skip right by. That is that we've been given their deployment cell phone number. And that means that they're deployed, they're overseas. This is a person buying a house. There's a spouse that's here. The spouse is probably handling a lot of this. And if we started our introductory call by asking those types of questions, how things are going, thanking them for their service, finding out what their challenges are as they try to buy a house. I tell you, I moved recently. I moved a dog and a couple of pieces of furniture, and it turned my life upside down. You try moving with kids and a house and a spouse that's overseas in a war, that's unbelievable. And if we ever miss that piece of information, that's horrible on us. And so I just thought that this is a way that, I know you get enough of these sheets, and I know what we do. We go and we look at the information, and we don't see the person. We don't see what it is that we really need to see. And I think the point is even a lot more clear when you think of a corporate relocation, right? It's pretty easy to put together a video and to draw on some heartstrings about what goes on when we're talking about USAA or NFCU and a spouse that's overseas and what they give to this country. But do we always think about what's going on even with a corporate relocation? Do they have a daughter in high school? Does that daughter play soccer? Are they not too excited about moving? And is that a big problem for the family as they're trying to talk to a young teenage daughter who's not likely too excited about making the move? And can we find that information out? And if we do, what can we do? Do we know the traveling team coach around here? Or can we find out who that is through our office? Does somebody in your office know? What would it mean to that family if you could connect them to that person as part of what you were doing? You know, is there a younger daughter that just doesn't understand this whatsoever, and there's pretty much nothing that you can do that you can explain to this person that's going to make it okay? How do you help these people work through that? You know, are they getting the level of cooperation? Maybe they're not acting in a way that we really like at the moment, but can we have some understanding for what it is that they're going through, the frustrations that they're having, maybe the fact that not only does their family not want to go, maybe they don't really want to go either. Maybe this is a move that's at the last 5 years of somebody's career in order to get a pension, and they don't really have a choice but to make this move. But it's not really what they wanted and what they were hoping for. You know, obviously, as we think about our military families and the sacrifices that they make, the things that they do for this country, I hope that it's never lost on us as we look at one of those lead sheets, that this is a good lead or a bad lead or a lead period. I certainly wouldn't want to be referred to as a lead. I hope that we're seeing the people that are behind this, that we feel the responsibility to know that they're families and they're making sacrifices, and it's our job to make sure that when they come home and they've served their country, that they have a place that they can call home. And that is a really, really cool thing that all of us are out there and have an opportunity to do. And so, you know, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to take the time to tell you that you've just completed your fall affinity training. And I went through about an hour and a half of what the fall affinity training is. And we've been hitting those things all year long. Everything that was in that training, that's stuff that we've been doing in these meetings. And the one piece that I noticed that I thought, that's what I want to talk about, is it's the culture of the client. It's the taking a moment to take a deep breath and make sure that we always remember and go back and treat this person like it's the first real estate transaction that we ever did, and take that responsibility seriously, whether it's a military client or it's one of our corporate transferees or it's a broker to broker or it's somebody that clicked on to us off of the net. They're trusting us and we have a huge obligation to them. I told you I would always keep you in touch with the Platinum Chase. A few months ago, I think you all knew that I wasn't feeling really good about it. You know, I don't know where we are yet. It'll be about 15 days more before we really know where we are, but I can tell you that a thank you is owed. You have put your attention into it. You have turned the worm. We've seen some changes in the numbers. I'm expecting good things to come in, and I really think we have a really good shot at something that I would have said a few months ago, I'm not really sure. And I think that we can pull off the triple platinum. We are certainly not there. I don't want to make any announcements. I just want to tell you that I understand that there was a huge, huge change that happened over the last couple of months in terms of how we looked at this thing and how hard we've been working at it, and I wanted to say thank you. New thing that's out there, you can email your contracts now to USAA Mortgage. The email address is on your handout. That email address is usaacontracts@usaa.com. If you choose to do this, there are two things that I want to tell you that are technical. Number one, you have to have and use the fax cover sheet. So the fax cover sheet is still going to go on top of your contract, and you can find that fax cover sheet on our NM Relo agent site. You can go to My Relo and get the contract there. And you also need a subject line, and the subject line would have the property address and the member's name in it. When you send something to this address, you will not get a receipt. There's no receipt that's given. If you know how to use Read Receipt on your email, I would highly suggest that you do this. I would also suggest that whether you're faxing or emailing a contract in, that you call and confirm that they got it once you've actually sent it out. And also you could check that through the portal if you know that you have the time. So I'm a little leery. I almost thought about not sharing this until there was a little more history with it. So I'm telling everybody out there, this is new. They just put this out there. I don't want to hold it back from everybody because it's a tool that's out there, and I think it'd be unfair not to tell you about it. But I also think it would be unfair to not tell you that when things are new, I sometimes get a little knot in my stomach. So, I think if I was personally out there doing this, I think I'd probably fax my contracts in for another month or so until I was sure that this thing was working and really going forward. But it's out there. They say it's working, and I believe it is. I would just double check on it and know you're not going to get that read receipt. Finally, we've started to get some people that are coming in for ExxonMobil, and they're all rentals, obviously, since these people will eventually be moving down to Houston. This is just for ExxonMobil. They're actually paying for the tours, so it's $600 for the first day, and then another $400 for the second day. You have to get approval in order to get paid for the second day, so that has to come through ExxonMobil. There is a 15% fee taken off of the rental fee, not the touring fee, but the rental fee. That only happens with our ExxonMobil rentals. It's nowhere else. That 15% fee is the flat Cartus fee. There's not a dollar either in the touring or the rental fee that relocation is taking in these. One thing that I need to let everybody know out there is I do need, and I don't think that we'll get a lot of them. We've gotten 2 so far. I do need A-team agents to take these. Obviously, we have about 2,000 moves that we're about to be doing with ExxonMobil in terms of helping them list their places and head down to Houston over the next couple of years. So anybody that's coming into this area is probably high end and needs to be really, really, really well taken care of. So these are not your typical rentals. There's a little bit of paperwork to them. Not even going to bother with training that. We actually programmed ReloSpec to give you all the paperwork that you would need. Just please let your branch leader know if you'd be available for them. So that's it. I want to thank everybody. I want to challenge everybody, and I hope that you took my message the right way. I challenge myself not to get caught up in the 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 customer view. There are families, whether they're corporate or military or just a local family clicking on the internet, who are putting their trust in every one of us to do our jobs. And I want to make sure that we're doing our job and that we're not just thinking about selling them a house. We're helping them get connected to this community. We're helping them with whatever anxiety they have about this move. And every single one of them has it. And you guys are the professionals to take care of that for them. So have a great, great month, and we'll talk to you soon.